Sup homies, it's Pimpinmaster DX with the top 10 worst consoles of all time. Yeah! Yeah. Now, number 10 is the Genesis add-ons. Yeah, they suck ass, but they're not high on the list as the other consoles for one reason. And that reason is that they weren't exactly consoles by definition. They're like add-ons to a pre-existing console. But they still suck ass, so that's why they're on the list. So, if you don't know, the Genesis add-ons are, the Sega CD, a CD-based game console with really, like, no real games, except for, like, stupid, boring, point-and-click adventure games, and there's only one good game on there. It's like, the movie-based games, it's like, who plays games to watch fucking movies? And then there was the 32X, the other add-on, which arguably was worse. It's like, it was just another cartridge thing that you put on top of the regular Genesis cartridge slot, and it played 32-bit games. And really, the 32-bit consoles were coming already, so what the fuck was the point, Sega? Seriously. So, number 9 is the 3DO. Yeah, everyone knows that sucks, but here's why. First off, it cost $700. The PS Triple, everyone knew, like, most expensive console and shit. It can't match that. And at least the PS Triple's ballin'. But 3DO, it costs $700 and it's not ballin' at all. I mean, it had no games! It had no games! Shit. So, yeah. Number 8, Atari Jaguar, with its big-ass square controller that I don't even know how you're supposed to hold that shit. I mean, why couldn't you have just made a normal controller Atari? Why'd it have to be a big freaking brick with a joypad and 3 buttons? And then your stupid fucking numeric keypad, which I don't know why you put in there. Why the hell you put in a numeric keypad? Like, what games really could use that? So, yeah. And even worse, it had no good games to speak of. Really, it had no good games. So, now, number 7 worst console of all time is the Sega Dreamcast. Yeah, it's the second Sega console on the list, and, just sucked. I mean, it tried to be, before the PS2 came out, it was okay, I guess, but then PS Double came out, and then everyone realized that it was a piece of shit. So, they tried to be pimping in the PS2, failed miserably, and now it's on this list. So, now, number 6, the Atari 2600. I know, you're all like, what the hell is he talking about? But, yeah. I know, it's one of the first consoles ever made, but it's also one of the worst consoles ever made. I mean, just pop in one of those Atari games, play them, and you see that they ain't worth shit. I mean, they just have horrible graphics, simplistic gameplay, sometimes horrible gameplay, and horrible sound. He's like, shit, man, why would you choose the Atari 2600 over the other consoles that had better graphics and better sound and better controllers and shit? So, yeah, number 5 was the Philips CDI, which was co-made by Nintendo and shit, during some kind of deal that they had. But whatever the reason, it was a horrible mistake on Nintendo's part, because the CDI sucked dick. I mean, it seriously did. I know I use that expression a lot, but it did. I mean, the CDI, the games all sucked. The second controller port was on the back of the console. I mean, what the hell? And the games were, and more importantly, the games were poorly developed, filled with movies, and the CDI just plain sucked. And now it's its only claim to fame is being, like, the most common source of material for YouTube poops, which nothing really deserves, but I guess if anything deserves it, the CDI games do. But don't make YouTube poop, seriously. So now, the number 4 is the Virtual Boy. Everyone knows why it sucked. I'm just gonna tell you again. The Virtual Boy was a pair of goggles on a stand, and like, all in red and black. Red and black? Why the hell is it in red and black? Why wasn't it in, like, better colors that is, like, red and black? Why couldn't it have been, like, black and white? Why couldn't it have been any, why it had to be red and black? And more importantly, why the hell couldn't it have been color? Color technologies out there, the hell, the Game Boy Color was out there right around the time. And so there was absolutely no reason for there to not be color in there. And it had stupid, I guess the only excuse would be it's stupid gimmicky like 3D shit, but most of the games it didn't really work. And speaking of games, they all sucked except for Wario Land. So really, it was a really, really bad console. So now, number 3 worst console is the Nintendo 64. Yeah, there's so many bad games on that console. It had to show up on this list. You'd have to dig through like probably the size of a crater in order to find one decent game. But even when you found one decent game, it would be unplayable because the controller was so freaking weird. 3 prongs? What the hell were you on, Nintendo? Seriously, it's like it had to reach down with the thumb to get to the joystick, and then there was the like D-pad that was made of buttons. It's like, what the hell is up with that shit? And really, didn't have enough buttons to play the more complex games. So, yeah. Now, number 2, the Nintendo DS. Now, I hear you fanboys crying, but it's the truth. This console suck. I mean, compared to the PSP, I mean, there's no comparison. I mean, DS suck. The graphics on the DS suck ass compared to the PSP. There's a whole shit load of fucking dumb games and like puzzles and shit, and like there's almost no good games. But the vast majority of the games on the PSP are good. So I guess you should kind of think of quality against quantity and shit. The DS has more games, but the PSP has better games. Yeah, and besides the graphics sucking and the game sucking, there's a stupid touch thing, and in most cases it doesn't even work, and it's really just a gimmick. That's the only reason why it's been successful. If it hadn't been for the stupid touchscreen, the PSP would have definitely been in first place in like portable gaming console market and shit. So finally, the moment you've all been waiting for, number 1 worst console of all time, the Nintendo Wii. Oh my god, saying that name just makes me cringe. Why the hell did they choose the Wii as the name? Seriously, the Wii? You couldn't come up with something better than that? Why couldn't you just use the original name, Revolution? What was wrong with Revolution? Seriously. And why the hell? Remember that one press release by Nintendo at E3 and shit where they said the graphics would make you say, wow? Well, I say BS. The graphics are like early PS2 graphics. Hell, they might be like Dreamcast graphics. Shit! Like, I guess you can play GameCube games, but that's no excuse. Why couldn't you have made graphics better? I guess their only excuse is the fucking motion controls. In most cases, the motion controls suck ass, especially in first-person shooters. And like, one of the things is that fanboys usually say is like, oh, but the like first-person shooters could be like way better on the Wii because of the motion controller. But no, it isn't. It didn't turn out that way. Sure, it had some potential, but it never met up to the potential. And then there's a matter of the games, the most important thing for a console. So you may have a good console, but the console ain't worth shit if you ain't got games. And the Wii ain't got games. Sure, you got a few good first-party titles, but the rest of the freaking games are shitty. It's like Anubis 2? You mean there's Anubis 1? It's like, shit. Rock and Roll Adventures where you play as Elvis? Oh god. Carnival games? Oh yeah, most of the games are freaking minigame compilations. So, peace out.